Marking 20 years since Hurricane Katrina devastated the region.
Thank you.
The failure of the federal levee system inundated about 80% of New Orleans in floodwaters that took weeks to drain.
20 years later, 60% of the residents in the city's hardest hit lower 9th Ward have not returned. About 1,400 people died.
Hundreds of Michigan military reservists were called up to active duty in the aftermath of Katrina.
News 8's Josh Sanchez spoke with veterans who answered that call to help those in need 20 years ago.
Mike Korfman was the chief of Texas Township Fire Department when Hurricane Katrina struck the Gulf Coast. In the days after the storm surge, he switched uniforms as his Coast Guard Reserve unit was called up to make the trip from Ohio to Gulfport, Mississippi.
Assigned some folks over here to Bay St. Louis and that area.
The mission, protecting the shipping port, providing security and humanitarian aid. He says members of Port Security Unit 309 gathered in buses and trucks and made the drive with equipment and boats in tow. Along the way, they had to drive around heavy rains, remnants of Hurricane Katrina.
There's our camp.
On the ground, members put together tents where they would be staying and working from for 3 weeks. Korfman says the damage crossing into Mississippi was hard to describe. He remembers the smell of seawater mixed with overflowed sewage and rotting fruit from shipping containers.
You figure everything that can float will float and it will move inland. So as we got closer and closer to Gulfport, we started seeing, boats and shipping containers and just everything that can float is trash and vehicles up in the tree everywhere. It was everywhere.
Korfman says that the experiences learned from the hurricane lasted well into his time as Kalamazoo County's emergency manager. We'll have more on Our Talk, as well as how Fort Custer near Battle Creek played a role in relocating survivors. All of that coming up at News 8 at 6. In Kalamazoo, Josh Sanchez, News 8.